Okay, so in homework 1 we have an equation with mixed numbers and fractions on both sides of an equal sign, but we can use the same idea of cross multiplication to help us simplify this to find x, as asked in the question. So the first thing to do is to think about writing each one of these mixed numbers as an improper fraction. So if we think about 3 in terms of quarters, well, there's 12 quarters in 4, and what we're doing is we're adding the 3 quarters here. So to simplify that, we've got the same denominator, so we can add the numerator, and that's 15 quarters, or 15 over 4. The other way to think about this is to multiply the whole number by the denominator, so 3 times 4 gives us this 12, and then you can just add on the 3 here. So let's do that for the other ones here. When we simplify the fraction, we'll have x over, and multiply 10 by 4, you get 40, plus 1 gives us 41 over 10. And that's going to be equal to, we've already simplified the numerator, that was 15 over 4. And the denominator, well, 8 times 1 is 8, plus 7 gives us 15 over 8. Now, we could go ahead and cross multiply here, but instead let's look carefully at the right hand side, because we should be able to see some similarities here. They both have 15 in the numerator, and the denominators are both multiples of 4. So what we'll do is a clever little bit of multiplication here. We'll multiply by the inverse of the denominator, so that we get 1 in the denominator, so it cancels out. But of course, if we do something to the denominator to make it equal, we should do the same thing by the denominator. So let's pause for a moment. Let's think about, what is this number here? This number here. What is that number? Well, you multiply the same thing in the numerator and the denominator, it's actually just equal to 1. And multiplying by 1 does not change this fraction. So imagine now, let's just deal with multiplying the numerators. We should be able to cancel 15 divided by 15, and 8 divided by 4 will give us 2. And of course, we realise that when we multiply the denominator, that this is, because it's the inverse, it's just equal to 1, so it's just 2 over 1. Let's simplify this a little bit over here. We've got x now, and when all of this clears up, 41 over 10 is still here. And when all this clears up, we get 2. 2 over 1 is just 2. So that big complicated looking thing on the right is actually equal to 2. So alright, so now let's think about doing the same thing to eliminate the denominator over here on the left. The problem is the 10, so if we multiply by 10 over 10, then we can simplify the fraction a little bit here. We'd get 10x in the numerator. And now if we just look at the denominator, well, the 10 divided by 10 is just equal to 1, and we just have 41. So this is a nice method to deal with double fractions, just multiply it by the denominator. So let's go across here. I've run out of space, but we can multiply both sides by 41 and get 10x equal to 82. Dividing both sides by 10, 82 divided by 10, which we can see is 8.2 as a decimal, or we can simplify the fraction. Both of these are even, so you can divide by 2, 41 over 5. And just as an extra part of this video, we're going to show you how to do this on your calculator. So if we get up our calculators now, we should be able to type this as just straight in to find out the solution here. So the way that we're going to do this is just to find x as an alternative method here. I'll just draw a line here. As an alternative method on GDC, the graphic display calculator, we could just say x is equal to and multiply by the denominator. So if we stick with the same number here, 3 3/4, and just multiply by the denominator, which is 4 and a 10, and divide by 1 and 7 over 8. And this would be the best way to go if we have a calculator. But the calculator handles these mixed numbers in a slightly different way. We can't just type in 3 3/4. Here's how we do it. We type in, first we need a fraction, so we should say control division. Oh, let's find a calculation document here. Oh, here we go. So control and division for a fraction. To handle these mixed numbers, we're going to use a bracket and include the whole number plus the fraction. So control and division again for this 3 3/4. Oops. Use the down arrow to get to the denominator. 3 3/4 here. So let's go back and see, so that's just this part here, 3 3/4. So multiply that by 4 1/10. You can go ahead, pause the video and see that you can check the answer, but let's see how I did it, just so you have that information. Brackets, 4 and plus 1/10, control division for the fraction 1/10. And in the denominator, press down for that. You can use a bracket, but it's not important here. 1 plus control and division 7/8. And then click enter, and we have a fraction here. To get it as a decimal, we want to have the approximately equals button here, so we need to press control first and enter, and we have the decimal answer here. Great, I hope you really enjoyed that video and you understand a little bit of how to deal with double fractions and mixed numbers on your calculator. Well done, we'll see you in another video.